Okay, let's take this from the top. Okay, hope everybody can hear me now. If you can hear me, just go ahead and type yes into the chat and I'll go ahead and get started. If you can hear me. Everybody can hear me? Just want to make sure everybody can hear me before I get started. There we go. Yes, sir. What's going on, Who Dat Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. Thank you all so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast, where we talk New Orleans Saints. And as you all can see, I'm at the studio right now. Having a little bit of issues with the soundboard, man. The soundboard, turn that off. The soundboard is not connecting to the Mac computer today, so I'm actually talking to you all through the webcam. So it may not have the best quality in the world, so I do apologize for that in advance. But thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for allowing the State of the Saints podcast to be a part of your day. And I also want to give a shout out to everybody that wished the Pac-Man a happy birthday. Yesterday, we did not have an edition of the State of the Saints podcast because it was Paxton's second birthday. And I want to say to everybody that wished him a happy birthday and well wishes, I really do appreciate that. And y'all know how much Paxton means to me, and also the State of the Saints podcast. I said the other day he appeared in maybe about 80 episodes of it, okay? But my little man, he enjoyed his day. We got him a cake, and he had a little friend that came over to the crib and stuff like that, to enjoy his birthday with him. So really was excited about that. But I'm back to talk about some Saints football, and I'm back to talk about the Saints secondary, which has been a high level of concern for a lot of members of the Who Dat Nation this offseason. Now, the Saints secondary last season probably was one of the best we've seen, especially going into the later parts of the season, especially when they started to get that chemistry together. Now, we all know, if you've been watching Saints football over the last 5 to 6 years, that they always start off slow. You always see that secondary player getting beat like a Persian rug, smoked like brisket, burnt like a biscuit, if you will. But they always seem to turn it on. And years past, like with the Brandon Browners and the Keenan Lewises and all these other cats, that was out there getting smoked, the Saints secondary has always been a concern, but it has not been a big of a concern as it has been in years past. But now we're faced with a situation where the New Orleans Saints have one true number one corner. One true number one corner. That's all they have in Marshawn Lattimore. Then you have, Paulson Adebo, the rookie out of Stanford. You got Patrick Robinson. You got P.J. Williams. You got C.J. Garner-Johnson kind of playing the nickel. So there's a lot of unanswered questions, about the New Orleans Saints secondary. But should we as fans, should we be concerned about the Saints secondary? Should we be concerned, or should we count on the Saints actually knowing what to do, understanding that they actually been in this type of position before, been in these type of situations? Like, what do you expect from the Saints secondary? Now, I will go ahead and start off, and then I'll go ahead and I'll go to the chat. And we won't be taking any phone calls today, unfortunately, once again, because we're not talking through the soundboard. We're actually talking through the webcam. So we'll probably just have to push the comments on to a later show. But me personally, I think the Saints secondary can improve. Okay, I think that they are going to be a formidable bunch. Now, the only thing that bothers me about the Saints secondary is the fact that I just feel like they're a little bit too thin. Okay, you look at the paper, you look at across the board, they got a lot of talent. You know, they got a lot of young guys, right? Young, inexperienced cornerbacks, guys that aren't in any way ready for prime time. Okay, they're not ready for it. They're not ready for the big dance, if you will. But I do feel like they need to get a little bit more depth, and I feel like that depth needs to come in the form of some veteran leadership. Okay, that's why somebody I've been lobbying for the last few weeks or even a month or so has been Richard Sherman. It is not so much about Richard Sherman's ability to play the cornerback position like he did in Seattle. I think that's wishful thinking if you think that Richard Sherman is still going to be the Richard Sherman of old. When guys start to get older in the league, and I think I had this conversation with someone who called in, when a secondary player or a veteran player starts to get older, they can't rely on their athleticism and their ability so much to win the matchups. You have to come with a little bit of width, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of savvy. And I feel like that's something that Richard Sherman can actually bring to the table. The knowledge of the game, his ability to use his instincts in order to put him in positions to succeed. Where he lacks in speed now these days, he can match up with cutting and witty, and wit. So I feel like he would be a good addition. And not only that, I just feel like the chemistry between him, Chris Richard, also Paulson Adebo, a guy he would probably have emotional investment in due to the fact that Paulson went to Stanford. They kind of followed the same path, especially like going to the cornerback position. Both played receiver. Now they're playing corner. I think that he would be a good fit. But the Saints need a secondary leader. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's been there, that done that. A guy that knows where he needs to be. A guy that the game has slowed down for them. And I feel like Richard Sherman would be a good addition to the New Orleans Saints. And I just feel like in certain situations, he would fit just fine. Now, I do think that the New Orleans Saints have some pieces on their team. I would love to see what Keith Washington can do. He's going into his second season. I think the only issue that we had with Keith Washington is the fact that he was just a little bit too small. But you get in the weight room, you get with the strength and conditioning coach, and you go out there, you gain a little weight, gain a little bit of strength and muscle, probably put on about 10 more pounds of muscle, and you can go out there and be formidable. He already has that wingspan. He's about 6'1", 6'2". He got the wingspan of somebody like 6'4", 6'5". So that's beneficial to the New Orleans Saints. So they have a lot of young players on the team, but they're just unproven. I do feel like they just need that veteran leader in the secondary. And not only that, you need somebody that can actually pick up that slack, because we don't know what's going to happen with Marshon Lattimore. Like, it's been quiet. It's been on a hush. It's been on a low. But we all know that the NFL, they like to make the Saints' life absolutely miserable. So we know that something is going to come up. They're not going to take this laying down. And I think probably the best thing that happened to Marshon Lattimore is that the situation happened so earlier in the season. So that would be grounds for him to possibly appeal the situation. Instead of him getting like a 4-game suspension, he can get like a 2-game suspension. But something is possibly going to happen to Marshon Lattimore. There's no doubt about it. As much as the New Orleans Saints and the league, just start hating on these boys for absolutely no reason, and then they start, lowering the boom on these guys with even more harsh penalties than you see other teams, something is coming. So you need somebody to make up for the loss of Marshon Lattimore. I feel like Paulson Adebo, he's a smart player, but you're not going to put two young rookies on both sides. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's super young, super inexperienced. Like, the rookie out of Tennessee, let's just say that he has a really good training camp. You're not going to put him on one side and Paulson Adebo on another. That's just not going to work. I mean, the Saints had lightning in a bottle back in 2017 when you were able to put Lattimore on one side and Ken Crawley on the other. Now, Ken Crawley, you can talk about him all you want, but his first season as a Saint, he didn't look too bad. He wasn't bad. His second season, that's when we need to start talking. But I don't think that you need to go that route. They need some veteran leadership in the secondary. But thank you all so much for being a part of the State of the Saints podcast. I'm about to go to the comments. Go ahead and read some of your comments that you have. Let's start with Brandon. Brandon says Keenan Lewis was the best DB in Saints history. Brandon, you my guy, but I'm going to have to disagree with that. Keenan Lewis had a few good years. I think him and Dennis Allen kind of got off on the wrong foot. and I think that kind of caused his his demise. And not to mention, man, he started to get hurt. Always had them knee injuries, and that's one of the main reasons why he's not in the league right now. And he stopped playing a couple years ago. I don't think he wasn't talented. I don't think he had any ability or anything like that. But I think he was above average. I don't think he was the best defensive back the Saints ever had. I think that right now belongs to Marshawn Lattimore. I don't think anybody can dismiss that Marshawn Lattimore is a really good corner when he's motivated. That's the only issue you have with him. If he has that type of motivation he has, like he going up against Mike Evans, then I think he'll be the best in the league. And Saints lost their mind for bringing back Ken Crawley. Dalton, I don't think so, man. I think a lot of people are looking at this guy to be a starter. If they were looking for him to be a starter, then I'd be like, okay, cool. But they're not looking for him to be a starter. They're looking for him to be probably on special teams. You lost Justin Hardy, your special teams ace, to the Jets. So this adds depth. And not only that, it's a guy that can come in situational football. For example, if somebody goes down, Ken Crawley has been in and out of the same system since 2017. He's had the same defensive coordinator in Dennis Allen since 2017. So that is a plus for the New Orleans Saints. And a lot of guys, a lot of coaches and a lot of front office guys like to get some of those guys that probably been with the team, probably left the team due to like contract situations, probably left the team due to depth situations. You bring that guy back in, that's less you have to teach that guy because that guy still understands the terminology. He understands the camaraderie with the other guys. He can get in right away, and you don't have to worry about him messing up the chemistry because he already developed chemistry with the guys that were there. So I completely understand why they brought him back. It's not like they want him to be the opposite of Marshawn Lattimore here. It's about special teams. Most likely he's probably going to be a gunner on the outside. So, I mean, you're not going to get that same production as Justin Hardy. I mean, he was up there, on some old Fred McAfee type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all know who Fred McAfee is. If you've been following the Saints for a long period of time, you know what I'm saying? A special teams ace, a legendary guy. You get what I'm saying? But he can be serviceable. So he was playing on special teams, so I'm pretty sure that's the reason why the Saints brought him back. Saints Nation says, do you think it would be smart to sign Richard Sherman to coach up the young guns? Yes, Saints Nation. I mean, I don't know if you just got here, but that was kind of like my whole opening spiel there. I think that Richard Sherman would be a great addition. To the New Orleans Saints. I think that his knowledge, his ability to dissect offenses, his ability to understand offensive concepts, and also just to put himself in a position to win that matchup. I think that it would be a plus. I like Adebo, but betting on a rookie is a lot to ask for. God forbid Lattimore goes down and it's a wrap. P-Rob won't last an entire season. Don't get me started on PJ. Ryan G, that's a good point. But at the same time, I mean, we've seen rookies come in and have phenomenal years, right? Jair Alexander, for example. You had the rookie that was out there that went to school out there in Louisiana, Snead, you know what I'm saying? He had a good rookie season for the Kansas City Chiefs. Denzel Ward had a really good season. Look, I think a lot of people are not understanding that if Paulson Adebo didn't sit out last season, he probably would have been a first-round draft pick. That's just all there is to it. He had first-round pick talent, but here's the thing. A lot of coaches and front offices were raising the people's eyebrow, rock style, at some of these guys that were sitting out. And they felt like, man, these guys sitting out, you ain't played football in over a year, or you're in football shape, or you keeping yourself motivated. What is going on here? Paulson Adebo is a guy that the Saints found late that could easily have been a first-round pick. While we were talking about the Farleys and the Newsome, Newsomes of the seconds and the Patrick Surtains and the J.C. Horns of the world, this guy should have been in that number, and he probably would have. But I think a lot of things kind of, caused him to do that. And honestly, I think that we as Saints fans need to be appreciative of this fact, too. It's not like the guy just said, okay, I'm just going to sit out and nothing you can do about it. He played in the Pac-12. The Pac-12 for a minute thought they weren't going to play any football this past season. But he just felt like they were just going too much of the back and forth. And he was like, man, that's probably cost me my draft position. So I'm just going to go ahead and sit out. I'm not going to go out here and play about 5 games and, and mess around and get hurt. So I can understand that. So the Saints really got first round talent in the 3rd round. So I think we need to be appreciative of that. So most likely, guys that you get in the 1st round, most likely they're going to start, right? 1st round draft picks, they're going to start. So this guy, I would be highly surprised if he doesn't start. Hell yeah, TJ, we got Ken Crawley back. Yeah, man, a fan favorite, man. Everybody loves Ken Crawley, right? Brian says we're going to need another corner because we're going to have to account for Lattimore being out. That's true, Brian. Paulson Adebo. TJ's Biceps, thank you very much for $2. Says we making a rare appearance today. Yeah, man, look. I mean, look, I'm trying to, man, that brings me to my point. I'm glad you said this. Some of you have been following the State of Saints podcast for a while. Some of you haven't, but not only am I the host of the State of the Saints podcast, I'm also a diabetic. Back in 2019, I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. And one thing that, that the doctors told me about was working out, and eating right. So what I have right now is a campaign that's going to be coming out really soon. I'm going to launch for the summer. It's going to be called the Up and Adam campaign. And this is for individuals out there that, want to get in shape, want to lose weight, want to eat right. We're going to, I want you to document your journey. Okay. There are over 64,000 young kids in America that get diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. 1.4 million adults are living with type 1 diabetes. And it's something that's very serious, man. And anybody that's a diabetic out there, you understand that eating is very, very important. But also, it's also a mind thing as well, because, when you're struggling with diabetes and, worrying about, eating right and doing all the right things, it can discourage you. But the one thing that is very, very important for you to do is eat right and exercise. So the Up and Adam initiative is going to be launched really soon. And what I want people to do, even if you're not a diabetic, if you want to go out there, you want to have a life change, right? You want to go out there and you want to work out, lose weight. I'm devoting a whole entire summer, to working out and eating right and documenting those habits. So anybody that wants to join that initiative, want to post pictures, want to talk about, working out, man, feel free to do so, because, it's very, very important. And all the people out there that, may not have diabetes and stuff like that, you got to watch eating habits too, man, because that's very, very important. You don't want to fall into that number as well. So the Up and Adam initiative is going to be coming really soon, and hopefully some of you will take a part in that. But I'm glad, that donation came up, because it made me think about that. So that's coming really soon, man. And, man, we're going to fight this one day at a time. So all my diabetics out there, we're going to fight it one day at a time. So the Up and Adam initiative coming really, really soon. I've been following since 6K. Well, JDW, thank you so much. I appreciate that. We're growing. We're trying to constantly grind and try to be among some of the best podcasts out there, man. Jameis doesn't suck, dude. I agree with that. I'm about to say I disagree. I agree he does not suck. Jameis only sucks on your team because of stale game plans and the coaches making him throw 40 to 50 times. Bro, I never knew that. Yeah, man. I diagnosed with diabetes back in October 2019. Hey, TJ, keep up your help, man. My mom has diabetes and got her foot amputated. Yeah, look, that's one thing, too, that I'm talking about. Well, I want to talk about the Up and Adam initiative as well. It's because, a lot of people, you got to stay active, man. I'm fortunate enough, to have, type 1 diabetes, and for those that don't know, it just basically your body, just does not accept insulin. It just doesn't. So you have to take insulin shots, in order to keep your blood sugar down. It's almost like your body fighting against insulin. And you know, I don't know exactly how it happened. I really don't know. I really don't know. I always thought of myself as a pitcher of help. You know what I'm saying? I was extremely active. You know what I'm saying? Took part in sports and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, it just happens to anybody. You know what I mean? It can happen to you. It can happen to your friends. It can happen to your family. So, but it's important, man, for you to stay active, especially for all those people out there that's dealing with that, and also the people that's not, man. You got to stay active, man. You got to stay happy and you got to stay healthy, and that's something that's important. Jeremiah says we will see the Ravens and the Saints in the Super Bowl. I hope the Saints in there. Been riding with the SOTS podcast since day one. That's true. Jerry Port been here, probably one of the first 4 supporters of the show. I always miss the call in, but I'm always here. Who that? Nick, I appreciate that. Ken Crawley in the Pro Bowl this year. I think you ain't trolling us, are you? Hit the like button. Yeah, man, hit the like button. Look, if you enjoy the State of the Saints podcast, you enjoy the content, just go ahead and hit the like button. I would really appreciate that, man. Help the show grow and go into that algorithm. I ain't never even knew that. I was actually reading online. And I was wondering, like, man, why people always talking about hit the like button? But apparently, like, it helps your show grow. So if you like the show, if you enjoy the content, only if you like and enjoy the content, go ahead and hit the Arthur Fonzarelli. Give me 2 thumbs up. Cass, thank you very much for being a supporter. And says TJ sleep at corner to me is Grant Haley. Yeah, he played pretty good out there in that Carolina game, man. That's a good point, Cass. He played really good, man. He was out there balling out. Good emergency nickel guy. Your podcast is one of the reasons I actually started my own. You and this podcast is an inspiration, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. It always means a lot to me when people say those type of things. The only thing I say to anybody that's out there trying to start a podcast is just love what you're doing, man. Just love what you're doing. Appreciate the bad moments, the struggle, the grind. Just appreciate all of the steps that you make, man. And this is very important too. Don't take no for an answer. Don't take no for an answer. A lot of people get discouraged when they hear no or they hear rejection. I ain't gonna lie. I battle with that myself, but always just constantly grow. Always constantly grow and appreciate the milestones in your life. Appreciate the milestones that you're working towards, and don't just look at them as just little microscopic things. Look at them as huge, huge hurdles, man. So enjoy enjoy creating the content, enjoy distributing the content, but most of all, just enjoy the whole entire process. So, man, I wish you all the best, for your podcast and everything that you're doing out there, and I'm appreciative that you consider me as an inspiration, man. Thank you. TJ's Diabetes, thank you very much for the $2. Says I don't stand no chance against TJ's determination. Yeah, that's something. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, Who That Nation. I know it's a Saints show, but it's something that I battle with. Like anytime you look at something like having something like diabetes or some type of rare, rare issue, disease or what have you, like it makes you think about your immortality. It makes you think about how long you're going to be here. I battle with that. Like I think about my wife, I think about my son, and sometimes, I get discouraged because I'm like, man, why does this have to happen to me? And I want people to understand, like, there's only 250,000 people in America that get diagnosed with diabetes, type 1 diabetes every single year. So I'm like, I'm in a rare number. I'm like, why did this happen to me? Like, why did this have to happen to me? And you get discouraged by that. But you know what? At the same time, when you're finding all the things to be discouraged about, you find a whole bunch of stuff that you can live for. Like my wife, my kid, I want to be there. I want to be happy. I want to be healthy. I want to be able to like see this show grow. I want to be able to interact with people and just enjoy what I do, man. So, all the people out there that's battling, with any type of illness, if you're listening to me right now, don't let that get to you. Like fight with everything that you have. Stay positive. Try to find reasons that help you to keep moving forward. Try to find those little things in life to help you, stay focused. And, and just don't take no for an answer, man. Once again, like, keep pressing forward, keep pressing forward, because there's always going to be reasons why, or if you make you feel like you're not good enough, you're not strong enough, you're not going to be able to make it through. But there's a million other reasons for you to say, look, I got this. So once again, man, the Up and Adam initiative is going to come really, really soon. So I'm asking, if you're thinking about making a life change, you're thinking about working out, if you need like motivation and stuff like that, I'm asking people to, take pictures, of you working out, take pictures of yourself, walking, stuff like that, man. Let's try to get this Up and Adam initiative going and, try to keep each other motivated. I have a lot of people around me who don't believe in my podcast, but I'm the one who is going to prove them wrong. Look, there's always going to be people out there that are going to tell you that you can't do something. And unfortunately, it's going to be the people that been in your corner since day one. Most, something, I don't want to say most of the time, but some of the time it is. The thing about it is, don't worry about that. Worry about creating great content, because those skeptics are going to eventually turn into believers. Like, you would not believe like the information and all that kind of stuff that I've gotten from people trying to discourage me. Oh, you're never going to be nothing. You wasting your time. You acting like you more than what you are. Nobody want to listen to you. You talking to yourself, this, that, and the third. But you know what? I stayed focused. And, I had passion for what I was doing. And it didn't matter how many people were actually looking at it. You know what I'm saying? I was enjoying the process. That's why I say for all people starting the process, you're going to have to enjoy it, because the chances of you becoming an overnight success are very slim to none. Now, I know television teaches us those things. It teaches us, oh man, like you walking down the street, all of a sudden somebody pull you to the side and say you have everything they're looking for and make you a millionaire. Don't work like that, man. You have to appreciate what you're doing, and you have to build your empire brick by brick. It might cause you to, on days you may be tired, or you may be, frustrated, or, may be discouraged, but just constantly work, man, and build towards your empire, whatever that empire may be. And it's not even in dealings with podcasting. It's anything that you're doing. There's always going to be skeptics out there that are going to tell you that you can't do something, but you can't listen to them. You have to believe in yourself. They're going to have times when you are going to have to be your own motivation. Period. So you got to stay positive. How did you become a diabetic? Honestly, I really just don't know. I really don't know. I don't know how it happened. I just ended up going to the hospital because I was feeling like really bad. And doctor said I had pneumonia, which I don't think I did, me personally. I don't think I did. I think I actually had the coronavirus, and they just didn't know what it was. And I was reading up on something that I don't know if, this happened or not, but apparently they're doing some studies to say that people that, catch a corona or COVID, they can, it can spark diabetes. Because, type 1 diabetes is basically like, okay, your body, can, just stop fighting off the insulin. Just start fighting, insulin that's going into your body. Just all of a sudden. Like, so I don't know how it happened. I think it was because, the pneumonia, the sickness that I had. I think it had something to do with that. But, hey, man, it is what it is. I'm just going to try to live and try to enjoy life. And we're going to beat this thing one rep at a time, one jog at a time, I love what you're saying and trying to do. I will spread the message along with my channel and grow this run. Yeah, keep it moving, man. I never worry about who don't support me. I focus on who supports me. Exactly. That's the thing. You're going to turn skeptics into believers because of your drive. You got to become undeniable. I always say this. It's almost like if you ever seen Avengers Endgame, right? Like when Thanos said the words, he says, "I am inevitable." Whether you like Thanos or not, that's how I feel about myself. Like, you can't stop me from achieving my goals. You can't stop me from being the best version of myself. You can't stop me from pursuing my dreams. There's nothing you can do about it. If I'm constantly working, if I'm constantly grinding, if I'm constantly working hard, and if I'm constantly moving forward, there's nothing you can do about that. So that's why I say you gotta run your race of life like a horse in a Kentucky Derby with his blinders on. You know, the horse is only focused on what's ahead. He can't see what's on the side of him. That's why they put the blinders on the horse, so he can't pay attention to the horse in the next lane. You know what I'm saying? You got to be that stallion with tunnel vision. You got to be that stallion that's focused on the finish line. So don't worry about what other people are saying. Don't worry about what nobody else is thinking. Don't even care about what other people's numbers are. You know, like when you start going into that, that's when you start to like lose yourself. Because a lot of people, you know, they start on this journey and they stop because they find themselves being something that they're not. You find yourself looking at something that works for somebody else, but it may not work for you. If you have the ability and the skills and the know-how to do the thing, do it your way and enjoy the process, man. And when you break through, you created your own lane. You know, I take a lot of pride in the fact that, you know, I don't try to be like anybody else. I just try to be me. You know, I've had conversations, you know, I was talking to somebody the other day. It was like, you know, like if you want to get more people on the State of the Saints podcast, you need to, you know, kind of kiss up a little bit. I'm like, huh? Like, no, I'm not doing that. You know, like, I'm not kissing up to anybody. You know, I'm going to tell it like it is. And if I send something out and invite somebody to the show, they don't want to do it, oh well. But I'm going to stay true to myself. Always stay true to yourself. Have that tunnel vision. Have that focus, that drive that you need, man, to get to that finish line, that success, whatever that success is to you. All right, go ahead and do it, man. Whatever, it can be a podcast, it can be a business, it could just be a life change. But don't be afraid to take that step, and definitely stay focused and don't look at the other lane. Stay in your own. TJ, I appreciate everything you do. Thanks for educating your fans towards changing their lifestyles and being healthy. Yeah, I mean, not only that, man. I mean, look, I'm trying to do that myself. Like I said, I don't know if you just got here, but it was just about, I know, you know what I'm saying? I know it's the State of the Saints podcast, but I guess the show going in kind of a different direction here. But anyway, you know, y'all know how we do it. You know, I mean, I was discouraged. Like, I'm serious, man. You know, being a diabetic, like I said, I think about all the family members, you know, that I had in the past that passed away of diabetes and stuff like that. And the only thing I was thinking about not being there for Paxton, not being there for my wife, Ashley. I mean, that's just the truth. You know, I want to see my son grow up. I want to grow old and gray with my wife. And when you constantly are in your own head, you know, you become discouraged. Like, you become, like, depressed. You know, so when I don't want to be that way, you know what I'm saying? And I don't want anybody else to be that way. You know, I want people to really enjoy themselves, really enjoy your life. And one thing that you can do, like, exercising not only just helps your health, you know what I'm saying, like your health as far as your body, it also helps your mental health as well, man. It helps your confidence. It helps you breathe a little bit better, man. It makes you feel a little bit more focused, makes you think a little bit more clear. And a lot of times, you know, like, you know, what do people do most of the time when they down? They go to the refrigerator, they eat, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, but I don't want people to feel that way. I want people to be happy about life. You know what I'm saying? I want people to be motivated. And sometimes, you know, it's hard for us to find our own motivation. Sometimes you got to be looking at other people and seeing what they're doing. So if we can have a Who Dat support group, because this is all this is. This is all the State of the Saints podcast is. This is a Who Dat support group. When we're upset about the Saints, come here. You can vent your frustrations. You know what I'm saying? You can type your frustrations. Want to have that same type of energy for people that's out there that want to create a life change when it comes to their health and well-being. So we all can be each other's lifeline for those that want to take a part in it. Yeah, I'm battling being a diabetic myself, man. Hey, there's so many others out here, man. You're not alone, man. Who that? TJ, my grandfather used to say that the efforts you put in your craft is what you're going to get out of it. So always keep God first and everything will work out. Yeah, definitely. Thank you for that, man. I appreciate that. And happy belated birthday to the Pac-Man. Okay, I'll let them know, man. Let them know. Being a Louisiana native alone increases your risk of becoming a diabetic. Take it from me, who is a Louisiana native who is a 17-year diabetic. Yeah, man. I mean, it's some serious stuff, man. And then, man, both my grandparents were diagnosed with diabetes, but I was like, man, I just had to happen to me. I'm type 1. Like I said, 250,000 Americans get diagnosed with that. I mean, that is very, very rare. Very rare. Do you think Taysom can actually be a reliable starter if Jameis doesn't pan out? No. Game in, game out, Caleb. No, I don't think so. Can he win some games? Yes. Look, this is what I'm saying. This is all I'm saying, folks. For all my people out there, I don't want to keep on doing this because it's gonna make it seem like I hate Taysom Hill, and I do not. I don't have anything against Taysom Hill, but this is my thing. My whole spiel is this. A good quarterback is not defined by 4 or 5 games. It's defined about how you can play on a complete body of work, a full season. Like, how can you perform? And all I'm saying is this. Can you perform for a full season? Can a team rely on you to win a game? Can you take a team that is down by a few touchdowns and make them come back? I don't see that in Taysom. I can't see Taysom for 17 games going out there being the starting quarterback in the New Orleans Saints. I cannot see Taysom Hill. I can see Taysom Hill sustaining a lead. But I can't see if the Saints, like the defense is having a bad game, him coming back and throwing them back into the game. I just can't see it. I can't. I cannot see it, man. Maybe you can, but I can't. I just can't. Like, you think about like some of the games. Like, for example, last season, you had the Saints taking on the Detroit Lions, right? The Saints were down 14-0. We thought, man, it's going to be a long day, right? Drew Brees comes out there and they score 5 touchdowns on 5 straight drives. I can't see Taysom Hill doing that if the Saints down 14-0. I can't see it. I cannot see that. Now, can he change that? Absolutely. But if it don't work out, man, I'd be highly surprised. Like, this would be a shock. It would be an absolute shock to me if Taysom Hill becomes like a formidable starting quarterback if Jameis don't pan out. I'm serious. Because I just feel like Taysom bread is buttered through his role he already has. I feel like this is going to be what keeps you in the league. I mean, to me, this is what's going to keep Taysom in the league. Him being that Swiss Army knife role. He wants to play till he's about 35, 36. This is the role that is going to keep him in the league, not being a quarterback. I mean, can he come in and play quarterback in spurts? Absolutely. And that's the thing. Like, you get to scratch that itch. It's not like they completely just wipe out the whole quarterback position for you. You throw the football too. Like, how cool is that? Not only can you play tight end, you're going to catch the ball. Not only can you run between the tackles, you're going to run the football. Not only that, you can throw the football. Your position, which you love the most. I don't get it. I don't know, man. To me, it's like, for you to step out there, I applaud him for that. For him wanting to take that step. But for me, I don't know. I like that position I'm at right now. I'm serious. I had this conversation with my big brother EJ, man. I was on the phone a couple of days ago. And I was like, man, look. First off, if I'm the New Orleans Saints, I'm saving a lot of money. I'm saving a lot of money by having 3 positions in one guy. Right? I mean, think about this. You don't have to go out there and pay a tight end. You don't have to go out there and pay a running back. You don't have to go out there and pay a special teams player. You got all that wrapped up into one guy. So you actually saving money, man. I joke, and it sounds funny, but it's true. Taysom Hill is the Costco of the National Football League. You go to Costco, right, or Sam's Club. You go there, right, to buy stuff by the bundles to save money. Case in point, Taysom Hill. You got all these different positions in one guy, so you saving money. The dude is Costco. He is the Costco of the National Football League. For real. So, man, if I was him, I'd keep that position. But I applaud him, though. I applaud him for giving it the old college try. Big Sean PD, you're absolutely right. It took me to move away to lose 150 pounds and off diabetic and pressure meds. Man, that's wonderful, Derek. That's absolutely wonderful, man. Man, congratulations to you. Keep up that good work. I want to see Ian Book for the future. Ghost, look, that's why they got him. That's why they got him, man. Push come to shove, worst case scenario, you trade him, get something back for him, right? So, the Saints have made me a diabetic because they make my nerves bad and I eat. But seriously, I'm a type 2 diabetic. I got to do better, TJ. Look, I think we all got to do better. And like I said, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to start this. You know, like I said, I have all the information and stuff like that coming up real soon. But yeah, that's one of the reasons I wanted to start it. You know, I want to start it because I don't want people to think that they're actually going through these situations alone. And sometimes, you know, you need that person, the people to motivate you in order for you to get up and go. So that's, you know, why this Up and Adam campaign is going to be, you know, is going to be something that I want people to be involved in, and I want people to take part in. So try to see if we can all just, you know, get on track together. Brian says the way Taysom Hill plays, he will be hurt by week 6 as a starter. A lot of people don't understand, like, he actually got hurt. That's why he didn't play in that divisional game. They are giving some people placebo and some are getting the vaccine. It's basically one giant trial. Look, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with the vaccine. I really don't. All I know is I took the vaccine back in February. Ain't nothing happened to me yet. I just think that, and like I said, I'm not trying to be no advocate or nothing like that. You know, you do what you want to do. It's your life. But for me, I just feel like, you know, I just took the vaccine. I think it's important, you know what I'm saying, for people to take the vaccine, but I'm not going to, you know, say that, you know, you got to take the vaccine. I just want people to understand, you know, it's very important that their health is very important. You're always going to find reasons why something is going down. I mean, I get it, you know, for all my, you know, white viewers out there, you know, I can understand the skepticism of black people, you know, especially back in the day with the Tuskegee experiment. You know, my wife, being from Tuskegee, Alabama, she went to high school, well, middle and high school there, and she graduated from Tuskegee University, so know a little something about that. But at the same time, man, we can't be conspiracy theorists about everything all the time, right? Sometimes, like, you know, we always talking about, man, it's in God's plan and God gonna work things out. Well, you know, we can't, if we believe that truly, then we don't need to be out here playing God ourselves, right? Like, if we feel like God is in control, why are we still trying to control our life, right? You know, for my Bible readers out there, what did Jesus say? You know, so about the birds don't concern themselves about where they gonna sleep, or they're not concerned about that. And why are we worried about all these different situations when God is in control? So we can't say on one hand God is in control, but at the same time want to control the narrative of our life. So that's the way I look at it. I mean, but do what you want to do. You don't want to take the vaccine, that's cool. I'm not here to change anybody's mind. All I can say from my personal experience, I took the vaccine back in February, I'm fine. The only thing is, on that second shot, I had a little bit of chills and a fever for about 5 to 6 hours, and I was good after that. So, which vaccine did you take? I took Pfizer. I took it like when it first came out. I got my first shot 2 days ago. Yeah, inevitable. First shot, they said don't really do nothing to you. It's that second shot. I believe the Saints should try to adopt a 3 safety system like they did when they had Kenny Vaccaro. Killer Clown, they actually played a lot of that last year too, if you notice. You know, if you've seen like C.J. Gardner-Johnson, I mean, he was out there playing safety. They did a lot of 3 safety sets. So I agree with you. I think they need to keep that. I took the vaccine and I'm fine for 3 months now. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I think, like I said, you're always going to find reasons to be skeptical about something. You know what I'm saying? Not that I'm making, you know what I'm saying, trying to say that to be facetious or anything like that. But I'm just saying, like, if you get into your own head, you can always find reasons why you shouldn't do something. TJ, if Jameis Winston goes down and Taysom is in his role, who steps up at quarterback? Do we turn into the Broncos? If Jameis Winston goes down and Taysom is in his role, who steps up? That would be Ian Book. But I doubt that, though. I think that if Jameis goes down, Taysom is the backup quarterback and Ian Book is the starter. Now, here's the thing, folks. If something was to happen to Jameis, and let's just say Taysom comes in and Taysom isn't playing well, and Ian Book comes in and the Saints start winning some football games, whoa boy. That's all I gotta say. Whoa boy, because they're going to, man, they're going to be something. Because if Ian Book go out there, that's the only way, you know what I'm saying? That's the only way I can see Ian Book playing. If something was to happen to Jameis, Taysom comes in, doesn't play well because Jameis is out for an extended amount of time, then Ian comes in and Ian goes out there and balls out. Then you have yourself a problem. Love your podcast. Have you heard anything about Lattimore getting suspended? If so, we keep the boat floating without him. I haven't heard anything about it, but still early in the season, man, and pretty sure things gonna kick back up and we'll figure something out. But I'm pretty sure something is gonna happen. Bangs, thank you very much for the $4.99. Says TJ. Oh, you ain't have to donate money for that. I think didn't I already read that? I apologize, man. I was getting to it, but thank you so much for the $4.99. Bobby says great podcast. Keep up the great work. I appreciate that, Bobby. Thank you, man. Sean Payton needs to stop the read option with Taysom because dude's running it every time, and AK be having big running lanes. Oh man, you ain't lying. Like some of the times when Taysom Hill, some of his reads are awful. Like I remember one time, this dude I'm talking about Alvin Kamara, like straight up the middle. I'm talking about touchdown city. I'm talking about ain't nothing but space and opportunity if Taysom Hill would have handed off the ball. I just think that Taysom Hill sometimes, I just think that he gets the ball so few and far in between, he gets too excited. And he's like, okay, man, this is my chance to shine. But I'm telling you, man, Alvin Kamara would have hit his head on a goalpost a few times if he would have just handed the ball off to him. But I digress. Second shot coming June 1st, and that's great. I'm trying to be out a little bit. Yeah, man, I'm trying to go on vacation, man. I'm trying to get me a vacation. And my wife going out the country next month. I'm going to Mississippi, going to visit some family members. But I don't just want to do that. I want to be able to, go out here and have a good time. I took the Moderna shot. Okay. I mean, Moderna is just as effective. I mean, I talked to an infectious disease specialist out here in Charleston, South Carolina, a good friend of mine, Dr. Scott Curry. He kind of keeps me posted. He works really close with all the people that's with the vaccine and everything like that. So he gives me all that information. Good guy, man. Dr. Scott Curry, Mississippi. I keep on saying Mississippi Medical University of South Carolina. I see you, TJ. Always watch your show, bro. But I rarely comment. But I love the interview with Mike the TA. Salute, bro. I see you. Kevin, thank you, man, and I appreciate that. And feel free to comment. I feel free to comment. Anytime you have a question, anything like that, feel free to put it into the chat. David said, thought somebody was knocking at the door, TJ. Nah, man. I think somebody was ringing. The phone was ringing. The phone was ringing. Did you hear about Kwame Brown? Yeah, man. Look, Kwame, look, I feel like this. Some people may agree, some people may disagree. Know that the State of the Saints podcast, but this is rapid fire. So I am going to answer this. Shouts out to Jules, Baltimore Raven fan, avid listener of the State of the Saints, man. Salute to you, brother. But here's the thing. If anybody deserves to be talking about anybody deserves to be clapping back, it's Kwame Brown. Kwame Brown has been a butt of so many jokes over the years for the NBA. This man, I mean, honestly, Stephen A. Smith made a career because of talking about Kwame Brown, calling him Kwame Brown. Stephen A. Smith owes a lot of his success to him talking about Kwame Brown. Him talking about Kwame Brown had been viewed over 20 million times, I think. And I think he did that back in like 2002, 2003. So Kwame Brown, everybody talk about this guy. They laugh at him. They make jokes out of him. This dude don't say nothing. Now all of a sudden they bring his name up and this man finally responds after 20 years. And ain't nobody even heard nothing about no Kwame Brown. But the guy wants to respond. Now all of a sudden, man, he chasing clout. He clout chasing. Man, look, check this out. The only thing is, and I talked about this earlier, man. Shouts out to my guy Brandon. All right. And I'm glad I'm having this conversation because I'm pretty sure Brandon is watching this and I commented, but sometimes comments don't really tell you show a person how you really feel about something. The only thing is about Kwame Brown, and this is real talk. The only thing about Kwame Brown is the fact that he's Kwame Brown. And a lot of us, we feel like, how dare he? Who is he to talk about these guys? Like, what has he done, right? If this was LeBron James coming out here clapping back at Skip Bayless, if this was him coming, and LeBron clapping back at Charles Barkley, if this was like somebody else that really just takes the scrutiny and grin and bear it and keep it moving, he'll have the biggest amen corner in history. Like I said, man, Kwame Brown for 20 years has been the butt of everybody's jokes. Being the first overall pick, a lot of people considering this man a bust, laughing at this dude. I mean, just all type of other stuff. This dude says absolutely nothing. His name comes up on a podcast. He felt like guys was going at him, and he finally responds, and all of a sudden, this man is clout chasing? Like, why are we choosing this guy to be a clout chaser? When honestly, there are so many other people out here in this world that we hitch our wagon to, that we laugh at, that we crack jokes with. They hitch their wagon to clout. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to the brother. I know a lot of people pay attention to him, Kevin Samuels. He hitched this wagon to clout. You know what I'm saying? Like, when he started talking about that girl, and then all of a sudden everybody just started to like talk about his video. He hitched this wagon to that. Now it's like everybody talk about how good Kevin Samuels is when it comes to giving advice. So what's the difference between that and Kwame Brown? The only difference is Kwame Brown, and we just feel like he's undeserving to be able to have a say-so. But the guy has been criticized, scrutinized for years, and has said nothing. If anybody deserves to clap back, it's Kwame. I'm sorry, man. Kwame Brown deserves his moment. He deserves his moment, man. He deserves it. I love the show, even though I just heard about the podcast just yesterday when I saw the Why the Media Wants the Saints to Fail episode. I'm subscribing today. Killer Clown, thank you so much, man. Thank you. Yeah, man. We are the State of the Saints podcast. And when I say we, I mean you too when you hit that subscription button. We are a interactive podcast, man. And we ranked as one of the top 15 must-watch Saints podcasts out there. We're ranked number 5, man. So we're really excited about that. And like I say, man, this is an interactive show, man. This is a show where, you put your comments down in the chat. We read it. You all control the narrative of the show. Whatever direction it goes in, I have a topic. Sometimes we stay on topic. Sometimes we veer off, as you probably seen. We talked a little bit about the secondary. Then we talked a little bit about, mental health, well-being, diabetes and all type of other stuff. So that's the way we do it here, man. We're a family-oriented show, and that's just how we roll. No lie, TJ, before all this happened, I just rewatched the infamous Kwame Brown rant. Hey, man, Kwame, that man was snapping, man. But like I said, the man deserves it. He deserves it, man. I'm serious. Like, that man never said nothing about nobody. As much scrutiny as this dude took, he said nothing. I don't feel like anybody should have a problem with this guy clapping back. TJ, do you think that the Saints go after Trill Williams after releasing him? This thing, does it work out? He's with the Dolphins now, so as soon as the Saints cut him, he signed with the Dolphins, so now he in Miami. Kwame, a.k.a. my mother cooking the TV, been mute. All of a sudden, the volume come on straight heat. Yeah, man. Kwame was snapping, man. He was snapping. Rudy, man, what's going on? Rudy says, who do you think will make up the wide receiver core? I think Number 1, Thomas. 2, Callaway. 3, Harris. 4, Smith. And the 5th is up for grabs or be a rotation wide receiver. I got a little bit of a switch up here. I got Thomas at 1. I got Smith at 2. Harris at 3. And I got Callaway at 4. Okay, that's how I feel. I feel like Tre'Quan Smith working out with Jameis Winston in the offseason. Tre'Quan Smith actually having a quarterback, no disrespect to Drew, but can play into his strengths. I think that you're going to see Tre'Quan Smith play a lot better. And Tre'Quan Smith, man, is not as bad as people think that he is, man. He still be putting up some pretty good numbers, and he always averages between 4 to 5 touchdowns a season, so I'd take that. Trill signed with the Dolphins. Yeah, I already mentioned that. What up, TJ? Haven't been commenting that much on the show lately. Just been laid back listening, big dog. Well, I appreciate that, Damian, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, man. Jairus, I'm the cleanest of the sharpest dressed man who all the ladies go crazy for. Rudy, man. Rudy definitely was clean on the show a couple of days ago, man. Suited and booted. Here on the State of the Saints podcast. State of the Saints family, if there was a position that needed to be filled, which one you think will help our team get past the postseason? You need secondary, you need good quarterback play. That's important. That's important to me. I forgot we signed Tulane wide receiver Jalen McCleskey. Yeah, he's a burner. He's a burner, man. He's a burner. He definitely can go. And he have a lot of confidence, man, which I think that you need, to play the wide receiver position. But he probably gonna be one of those guys that do a lot of his damage to the slot. I mean, you still got Kawhi Baker too, man. That's somebody I feel like that's gonna be a dark horse. That's somebody I feel like gonna be a dark horse. How many of the unsigned rookies and rookies that were drafted will get to start? That's interesting. Let me think. I think Kawhi Baker has a chance to start. I feel like the cornerback from Tennessee. I think his name is. I knew his first name is Bryce. I can't think of his last name. Bryce Williams or Bryce Mitchell or something like that. But anyway, I think he has a chance of being in a rotation. And also, man, to be honest with you, I think Lorenzo Neal's son has an opportunity to be in that rotation. I mean, I think the reason why he wasn't really mentioned was because he got hurt in 2019. He tore his ACL. So I think he has a strong chance, man. I've seen him play. I've seen him play out there at Purdue. He was one of the leaders of the team. We all know what Ryan Nielsen can do with guys on the front four. Yeah, Bryce Thompson. Thank you very much, NFL TikTok mix. I think he has a real strong chance of starting, man. Ryan Nielsen does a really good job with those guys in the front four. We seen what he did with Shy Tuttle. We seen what he did with Malcolm Roach. We seen how Davion Yamada career has picked up. Sheldon Rankins, when he was in there, he was doing his thing. So, yeah. I was watching that Vikings game, and Callaway is one hell of a blocker, him and Juwan. Yeah, Juwan Johnson, that's another guy. I mean, look, this is going to be a tough competition. I know everybody looking at the cornerback position, but you probably going to have some guys that can be borderline starters on the street at the wide receiver position. So it's going to be pretty tough, man. I don't know, man. I'm going to try to get out there for training camp this summer. I'm going to try to get out there at least one weekend or something. TJ, did you know that Lorenzo Neal Jr. dad played for the Saints? Yeah. I remember when I'm 34, man. I remember when he got drafted. I remember he got drafted to the Saints. I definitely remember that. Lorenzo Neal, to me, you put him, Moose Johnson, and Vontae Leach. Those are like three of the greatest fullbacks of all time. The greatest fullback of all time is Jim Brown. Okay, some of y'all probably didn't know that Jim Brown played fullback, did you? Y'all thought he played running back. No, he played fullback. Jim Brown is the greatest fullback of all time. Then you can throw in Darryl Moose Johnson. Then you can throw in Vontae Leach. And then you can throw in Lorenzo Neal. I mean, fill in the blanks. Those are some of the best fullbacks in history. Yeah, definitely knew that, though. We can definitely use a defensive tackle like Lorenzo Neal Jr. after Sheldon Rankins signed with the Jets. Yeah, I agree. TJ, you don't look a day over 25, and I'm 28. Man, I'm 34 years old. I'll be 35 in August. Yeah, man. Definitely getting up there. But I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Probably because I ain't never grow a beard a day in my life. I can't grow a beard. Like, I wish I could, though. That's one thing I wish I could do. I wish I can grow a beard, man. I have one of them Rick Ross beards, you know what I'm saying? But, hey, keeps me looking young, though. I remember Lorenzo Neal Sr. with the Saints. That's a big dude. Yeah, man, he was good, man. Really good. I've been campaigning for Lil Jordan Humphreys to get a chance at receiver ever since his rookie year. Do we still have him? Yeah, he's still there. And he's always going to be there. You know, look, Lil Jordan Humphrey does something very well that Sean Payton loves, and that is block. He's a really good blocker. He's a really good blocker, and he loves blocking wide receivers because the way that they try to get Alvin Kamara on the outside, you need those guys that can block those cornerbacks. So he always going to have a place. And I think he'll be a good red zone threat. I think he just needs to work on his route running. That's the only thing I feel like that kind of stopped him from being on the field, his route running ability. But he's a good blocker. He's above average blocker. He's a big dude, man. He's about 6'4", about 220. Hey, Lil Jordan Humphreys, man, he's a big guy. And I like him, man. You know what I'm saying? I like him. I think that I just want to see these guys with a new quarterback. I'm just being real. I just want to see these guys with a new quarterback, guy that can sling that rock. And I just feel like a lot of these guys, we will know what we actually have if we actually had the Drew Brees back from 2011, 2012. But he just couldn't like play into those guys' strengths anymore, man. And it kind of kept those guys like limited. So it's hard for me to come out here and say, oh, is this guy good or is this guy not good? Because, I mean, all they was running was basically shallow routes. Like, it's kind of hard for me to just put my hand on it and be like, oh, man, you know, this guy's the truth. This guy's not the truth. I want to see what they do with a guy that can actually bring it. I remember Lorenzo Neal broke Mario Oh, man. Mario Bates, man. Mario Bates. Mario Bates was a poor man. I mean, a poor. Empty your pockets out poor. Eddie George. That's who he reminded me of. He was a poor man's Eddie George. Slow, but powerful. That's what he was. You know, he was a poor man's. Poor man. Eddie George. The only thing I can remember about him was them liver slashes in his face. That was the only thing that was like memorable about him. Not too good. Paulson Adebo had receiver hands. Yeah. And that's something that we need too, NFL TikTok. Look, I don't know how many people have been following this show for a certain amount of years, but that has always been the issue. It's about the technique of these cornerbacks, not getting their heads around to be able to locate the ball and get those interceptions. This guy has the wide receiver hands, so could possibly go out there and catch some of these interceptions. And somebody else, I think him and Marcus Williams, they can really make some noise in the Saints secondary. Because, look, rather you like Marcus Williams or not, I see a lot of people kind of quiet, about the Marcus Williams thing. But Marcus Williams has really good hands. He has really good hands for a safety. If the ball is anywhere near Marcus Williams, he's going to pick it off. Okay, and if you have somebody like Paulson Adebo also, like, man, you got yourself a recipe for some success, dude. Because both of those guys have really good hands. So, yeah. I mean, the Saints could possibly, get some more turnovers this season. But these guys have to work on their technique. Any news on Richard Sherman? No, I haven't heard anything yet. Who wants to play for Cleveland and Detroit back in the day? Seriously. Nobody. Well, when Barry Sanders was there, it wasn't too bad. I know Drew Brees couldn't go anymore. I thank him so much. It still hurts my heart knowing he's going to be going. We'll always love you, Drew, and I hope we can find a good quarterback. Yeah, Greg. Look, Drew Brees gave us so many great memories in the Who Dat Nation. We're forever indebted to him for turning around a snake-bitten, struggling franchise. But, you know, Drew Brees, man, look, Drew Brees gave it all he had. I mean, Drew Brees' body broke down on him, just like every other quarterback that comes in. It's very rare that you see a quarterback retires, you know what I'm saying, on his own terms. Now, you've seen Peyton Manning all those great years in Indianapolis, went to back-to-back Super Bowls with Denver. His body betrayed him in that last season. He was able to go out on top because he had a top-notch defense, and he still had a little bit in the tank, and he had a really good running game. It doesn't always happen like that. They don't always have the storybook ending, but Drew Brees gave us many storybook endings. You know, I mean, just helping this franchise save face. I mean, it's the reason why the Saints have 5 primetime games on television this season. It has a lot to do with Drew Brees built. You know, Drew Brees has built this organization into a credible organization. He alongside Sean Payton for the last 15 years. So we do thank him for that. But with that being said, man, we can't like dwell on the past, and we got to move forward. We got to move on, man. We got to understand that Drew Brees is no longer here. Drew Brees isn't broadcasting his life. He's living his best life. And, you know, whoever comes in, we just got to wish the best for them. All right? So, yeah, but I'm appreciative for everything that Drew has done in the Saints uniform. I think Ken Crawley going to compete this year. I mean, I think he's going to compete, but I just think that he's there for special team depth. I like Marcus Williams despite that year when he pressed the hit stick too early. Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people are holding on to, Killer Clown. I think that people still holding on to 2017, but if you're still holding on to that, you're doing yourself a disservice and not watching the emergence of one of the best safeties in the league. Like, this guy gets better every year. He's a ball hawk. Last season, he fixed his tackling woes. He was like a hard hitter. You know, he was out there making tackles. He improved. So, and this is a guy that really wants to be one of the best. Not like he just out there phoning it in. He wants to be one of the best, and that's something that I can appreciate. Remember when we didn't have that second cornerback? It wasn't fun. Yeah, it definitely wasn't fun. But like I said, I think the Saints have their number 2 corner. Might take a little while for us to actually see his full potential and Paulson Adebo, but I do feel like they have their number 2. Drew Brees gone, Greg, it's okay. Yeah, I mean, look, people love Drew Brees. I mean, I love Drew Brees. But I mean, it's time for us to understand, like, he ain't coming back. But I mean, I'm appreciative of everything he's done. To be honest, Brady can have the most yard records because Brees has more records than any other quarterback in NFL history. I don't care about records at this point. Records are made to be broken, Rudy. I'm just more concerned about championships. And that's one of the things that I allude to here on the State of the Saints podcast a lot. Records are going to get broken. The way that the NFL is structured, the way that you can't sneeze on a quarterback now, guys are going to constantly break passing records, touchdown records, or what have you, because the rules are skewed in favor of the offense. I mean, those championships, those are the things that's going to remain. So let's try to see if we can win some of them championships. Today is Lattimore's birthday. Yeah, it's Marshawn Lattimore's birthday today. Happy birthday to Marshawn Lattimore. I don't know if he watched the show or not, but I mean, every now and then I'll make a comment or something like that. He'll respond to it. So shouts out to Marshawn Lattimore. We need Quan Alexander. Well, we'll see what's going on with that. The Saints sure work on the defense. They need to. They need to. And he is a dog too. Yeah, if we talking about Quan Alexander, yeah. We talking about Marshawn Lattimore, he's a dog too. Just got to stay a little bit more motivated. Ghostface Griller, who that fam? Rudy says, what are the chances that we have a wide receiver turn cornerback and it actually works out? I don't know. That's a good question. I just hope it works out. But looking at this dude, I'm talking Paulson Adebo. He has a lot of confidence in himself. He has a lot of belief in himself. And I would be highly surprised if it don't work out. Like, this dude got a lot of swag. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, and he's smart. You know what I'm saying? I think he's a smart player, so he got that going for him. I'm going to read a few more, and then we're going to go ahead and roll out. Hopefully Marshawn Lattimore is thinking about his future. Yeah, I think that it was a stupid mistake, and I don't think he's gonna do it again. I think he understands what's at hand, especially like in a contract year. No, sir. And finally, Big Sean says, I'm excited about Jameis starting. I've been done with Drew since we lost to the Vikings in the first round. Big Sean, look, you're entitled to your opinion. A lot of people echo your sentiments. And look, I think it's about time for some fresh air. You know, like I don't know if this is going to work out. I really don't. I don't know if it's going to work out with Jameis Winston. But I do know this. I do know that, you know, Sean Payton does a really good job putting guys in positions to succeed. That's one thing that we can say about Sean Payton. So let's just hope for the best, man. Let's just hope for the best. Let's just hope for the best. But I want to say thank you all for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. I really do appreciate it. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And before you get up out of here, go ahead and give your boy a thumbs up, man. If you like the content, if you enjoyed the State of the Saints podcast, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Let everybody know that you enjoyed it. Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com, search The State of the Saints podcast. You can become a supporter of the State of the Saints podcast by going to YouTube and hitting that join button. Or you can go to facebook.com, search The State of the Saints podcast, and you can hit the support button there. With becoming a supporter, you get discounts on State of the Saints podcast merchandise, and you also get an exclusive episode of the State of the Saints podcast that other viewers won't be able to get. And also there are going to be some other things coming in the near future. But become a subscriber and a supporter of the State of the Saints podcast. Donate to the State of the Saints podcast. This is a show where, we're very interactive, and hope everybody just enjoys the show, enjoys the content. And our previous episodes are available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Anchor FM. Thank you all so much. Enjoy the rest of your day, morning, night, wherever you are. And like always, all I got to say is,